Tropical Storm ChanHom formed in the western Pacific today at 23.6 degrees north, 139.0 degrees east as of 1 a.m. UTC this October 6th. This is ChanHom on satellite imagery. It's looking quite decent, and it's expected to get significantly stronger over the next couple of days. So let's take a look at it right now. Winds of 50 miles per hour, a pressure of 991 millibars. It's moving northwest at 16 miles per hour, and it is a stage 5 on the CDPS scale. More information on that, here we are. Again, that's a stage 5. Significant wind speeds possible with this. Currently, the expectation is a typhoon landfall in Japan, somewhere in southern Japan. The storm size is going to be significant, with major rainfall potential over 30 inches in some local areas, and the overall threat to land being significant to major. Devastating damage is possible as per the stage 5 rating on the CDPS scale. This is not something to scoff at, and it is expected to become significantly stronger with time. So here's the storm right now. You can see there that northeastern side, by far the largest wind field quadrant, with the northwestern side being the smallest quadrant, and then your southern hemisphere of the storm looking quite nice when it comes to the symmetry over on that side of things. Again, 50 miles per hour, 991 millibars. The storm is inching towards Japan. There's a lot of uncertainty with where exactly the storm is going to go and how strong it will be, but we have a good enough idea that we can give you a general forecast. The cone will be coming up here in just a little bit. So this thing's about 650 miles away from Amami. From Kagoshima, it's about 710 miles away. From Naha, 717 miles away. It's about 776 miles away from Tokyo, and about 1,099 miles away from Taipei. There are no watches and warnings in effect at this time, but you can expect that to change here relatively soon. Again, it's 50 mile per hour winds with SATCON and ADT down to 40 miles per hour, JTWC at 45 miles per hour as of this update, although they should be updating shortly. ForceThirteen running with 50 miles per hour, and the AMSU being aggressive with a 65 mile per hour rating. So here is our cone right now, the ForceThirteen cone. We're expecting Category 2 out of this in 3 days' time. Winds of 100 miles per hour, could get stronger than that. You can see this right here. This is as of a few hours ago, hence why intensity is slightly lower than what it is right now on this cone. You can see here on potential rainfall, this is courtesy of the H-Work, that pink there on one of those Ryukyu Islands. Those more mountainous regions could receive over 30 inches of rain. You can see that 32-inch contour right there. And again, more mountainous regions, over 24 inches of rain could be in isolated spots, with widespread areas getting well over 48 inches of rain in Japan. Sea surface temperatures are looking good for the storm right now, and will continue to look good for the rest of the storm's life to support at least a minimal typhoon, although they will support above that for much of its life before it does get to Japan. When it comes to the chances of tropical storm force winds, you can see them in southern Japan, well over 70% chances are creeping into southern Japan, and then as you can see, as we get into the mainland of Japan, we're seeing 50 to 60 and 40 to 50% contours. Really starting to head up there before we do really head up and start to see those lower probabilities. Chances of typhoon force winds pretty substantial, and you can see there 10 to 20, 20 to 30% chances on the Ryukyu Islands, and as we head up into mainland Japan there, 10 to 20% chances in many areas. Alright, well, let's take a look at what exactly the models are forecasting. The gray line is the JTWC's forecast, and you can see Category 2 forecasted by them. H-Work and CTCX agree, but the GFS, D-Ship, and the LGEM take a slightly lower and less aggressive approach. You can see here with wind shear is going to be relatively low over the next few days before it begins to skyrocket, really about 3 days from now. You can see relative humidity does go down some, especially after the night, and you can see their sea surface temperatures going off the scale really as we do head into land. Off the scale there, when you see no points, means that the storm is over land. But when it is not over land, when it's over water, we're going to be seeing good sea surface temperatures while this thing does have at least enough steam to impact Japan. Mid-level relative humidity is looking good with drier air as we head into the night. And as we can see on satellite imagery here, an impressive looking storm. You can see a center there that's really starting to become better defined in the latest frames. We'll see how this evolves. ForceThirteen will be keeping you up to date with the latest. You can follow our outlets. First of all, the website, ForceThirteen.com, with new articles coming out all the time for your reading pleasure about all things weather. YouTube.com/ForceThirteen with our tropical weather bulletins, animations, and tropical updates. You can also find us on Facebook with more information on those things. And then also on Twitter, we have the US branches and AU branches on there as well, but you can see the URL below. teespring.com/store/Force13, that's where you can find things like the Smug Mug to buy. And finally, the Patreon, patreon.com/Force13, where you can support the project and help it become even better.